2-minute warning.
Hey, Bleedbigblue, Tim from the podcast. Just wanted to talk to you guys about something I saw over the weekend. It was Brandon Marshall had an interview after training camp, and he was talking about Landon Collins, about how he hasn't seen a leader on defense like that since Brian Dawkins. I take that as a huge compliment to Landon Collins. For the simple fact is, as much as we hate the Philadelphia Eagles, there's not a Giants fan that I know that didn't respect the way Brian Dawkins played. He was awesome. Would have loved him to be a Giant. Too bad he was an Eagle. But, anyways, so, it got me thinking, hey, is Landon Collins really a leader, and are we lucky to have him? I think those are pretty obvious yeses, but I wanted to dig deeper into it. So the definition of being a leader is a person that holds a dominant or superior position within its field and is able to exercise a high degree of control or influence over others. I absolutely think that's Landon Collins. He's been a leader since his rookie year. I mean, this guy was being verbal with veterans within the first days of training camp. And he's obviously continued to grow in that position, and going into right now he will be going into his third season. And if I think will happen is he will be the captain of the defense. I'd be very surprised if he's not. Because he's doing such things as he's working with Darian Thompson, every day. He was even working with him last year when Thompson was hurt, doing mental reps with him to make sure he was better when he came back. And make sure Darian Thompson didn't get down on himself, which, he was doing. But now Darian Thompson's going to be way better going into this year. And it helps with the bond, with the teammates. Obviously, you're going to play better for people that you care about. And that's what I think the old school Giants fans will think that, that's what our old school Giants Super Bowl teams, they were close. And if you heard our past interviews with Myron Guyton, that's what they are. They all are very close, liked hanging out with each other, and the closeness bleeds that you're going to work a little bit harder for that person next to you. And that's what I think is going on, and that's what Landon Collins even had a softball game that he did over the summer that he, invited, veterans and old Giants alike, and that's what he talked about in an interview that I saw from that, was he saw the bond between the Super Bowl team players, and that's what he wanted this team to grow into and get to that, because he says it's like family, and that's awesome playing with family. Now, Landon Collins, guys, I'll be completely honest with you, I wasn't a huge fan of his going into when he was in college. Now, we moved up and drafted him, and I didn't hate that we got him, because we got him in the second round, and he was definitely a better player than being a second round player. But he had deficiencies in pass defense. I thought he was a typical box safety that was great against the run, but going to be a problem when it came to passing. And that's not the kind of league that we have right now. So I was worried. I was proven wrong, obviously. He's amazing. He should have been Defensive Player of the Year this past season, guys. He had 100 tackles, 4 sacks, 13 pass deflections, 5 interceptions, and a defensive touchdown. I don't know how he didn't have Defensive Player of the Year. But whatever. And that, the awesome part, guys, he didn't miss a game. He hasn't missed a game since his rookie season. Or he hasn't missed a game, period. And that was only his second year. What's the jump going to be like from season 2 to season 3? He's not even, he doesn't talk about individual accomplishments either, guys. We talk more about his individual accomplishments than he will. He talks about, anytime I've seen an interview, he talks about winning and he talks about team. Dak Prescott acted like Dallas Cowboys are going to win the NFC East again, no problem. Landon Collins, told him to shut that down. That's not going to happen. Giants are better, and we're going to win the East, which we all hope that's the case. Or he's, talking about getting into a Super Bowl. That's the kind of player that we like, and I think we're very lucky guys right now. Because if you look at the Giants and the core of young players that we have that are like under 25, we have Odell on the other side, all-world talent on the offense. Granted, he's a little bit of a talker. Now, and he maybe gets some of the old school Giants fans a little headache, but he's amazing. And then we got Landon Collins on the other side, who's been an all-world talent his whole life. Guys, he was a top recruit in high school. He was a top player in college. And he's already becoming a top player in the NFL. I think we have one of, if not the best safety in the NFL, guys. I just want to give Landon Collins his props. Can't wait till he gets to see. And it's Drive for 5 time, guys. Bleed Big Blue, always.